Hey guys, Matt here. Just want to do a little unboxing and comparison of the mystery tackle box versus the lucky tackle box. This is their ice fishing boxes. When I've looked around on YouTube and other sites and whatnot, haven't seen too much on their what comes inside of their actual ice fishing packages. So I figured, what the heck, I'll just get them both and we'll do a quick comparison, kind of see which one I like, which one I don't. But one thing I can say is whenever I've ordered these boxes in the past, everything that they've given me works. It's stuff I might not use, might not have thought of using, but they've all been magic out on the water. So whoever's putting these boxes together, they really know what they're doing. I don't think you can really go wrong with either box, either company, but just wanted to kind of get an idea of what kind of value we're getting or whatever. So we'll start off here with the mystery tackle box. And in all fairness, yes, I have opened these just to kind of get an idea of what's going on and quickly add up the prices of stuff so I can have it all ready at the very end. So what you'll see when you first open it up is some of the what I call the standard issued stuff that comes with both companies. Number one, you get a card which lets you know what products are inside, and it also has the suggested retail prices on them along with the manufacturer and their names. So if you ever want to go through and repurchase some of them, like I know I already have from some of my other boxes in the past. You also get, with mystery tackle box, it's called the Dibble Digest, which is some good bathroom material there. Great tips, tricks, information on the inside, and you get the sticker that comes in every pack. Looks like now this month it is like a steampunk trout. Last month I got like a zombie bass, so they vary it from month to month. But let's get into the gear that they give us. First up, we have from Big Daddy Baits. This is their Big Poppy Pintail, and that looks like it retails for $2.80. Looks to be like a clear and sparkly, almost like a little minnow. Looks like it'd work great if you want to tip this on a tip up that's got some really soft action on that tail. That tail's going to keep going. Put that on some tip ups, or even, I might even use that in the springtime. Go after some larger crappie if I can come across some, or maybe even some panfish, some bluegill, some aggressive bluegill. Next up, we have from Northland Tackle Company. We have some Bionic fishing line. This is 350 feet of 3-pound test, which retails for $5.09. So even though I don't think I'll go through 350 yards of spool in a season, but I might also put some of this on my panfish rigs for the springtime, some of my ultralights. Next up, we have from a company called Best. This is their looks like it is their Fish Feather Jig. As you can see, it's got like a gray and like a gray top with a off-white or silver whitish bottom, kind of mimic a small minnow or some kind of prey that a larger crappie or maybe even a perch would definitely tear into. I think they did a good job tying these ones to match the hatch, so to speak. Also from the same company, this is their Marabou jigs. And the Panfish Marabou Jig retails for $2.99. Now there are 3 of them in there, and with those Marabou and Feather jigs, even if you're dead sticking that Marabou with just the constant current, I don't care if you're in a lake or a river, there's still going to be a little bit of current down there. It's going to keep that Marabou wiggling and flushing in and out. It's going to give it that appearance that it is actually alive. Next up, from Lucky John's, is the Unpainted Ice Jig. Now this is tungsten, and it retails for $3.49. You can see this one is unpainted. There's no special markings or colors, but it has that nice goldish brass color with a small hook. These styles of jigs, from where I'm at down here in Southwest Michigan, these styles of jigs are what we primarily use for. We don't get a whole lot of crappie where I'm at, or at least the lakes that I hit. Don't get tons of perch, but you'll come across the occasional crappie and perch. But Mostly the bluegill, and these fit perfectly into their smaller mouths. So this is probably one of the jigs that I would use the absolute most out here. Along with that, we also have from Clam, it's people that make the outdoor shelters and houses, and they also have their line of jigs and baits. This is their duckbill drop, and if I don't know if you can really tell, it's green with some black stripes on the top, a little bright fluorescent pink. It's also UV and it glows. It's a 1/32 ounce, but they call it the duckbill because it has the shape, a curved shape like a duckbill. So when you're jigging it up and down, that will give it a nice erratic drop and fall to it. So this jig alone retails for $3.49. Really interested to use that. Once again, that's the size that we use mostly around here for our bluegill. Up next, also from Clam, this is their soft plastic line. They're called Mackie Plastics. They are scented. This is red, and this is called the Draggy. I don't know if you can see up here in the corner. It kind of gives you the outline of what it should look like. Almost has a, I've heard it referred to as a Klingon warship. Those of you that are familiar with Star Trek, we'll kind of get that reference. But it just has a weird. There'll be 3 different appendages that'll flop, and I've used some of these before. They're super soft plastics, so just the lightest touch. Like I said, even when you're dead sticking, they will still move in the water. So I'm very interested to use those. And this Mackie plastic runs for $3.49 for the 8 count. So another one that I'm very interested and excited to get out and use. So that is it for the mystery tackle box. And it looks like we got about 7 items in there. 7 baits, 7 lures, for a total of $24.34. So you know you're getting your money's back. They're all quality gear. Let's go ahead and look at the Lucky Tackle box now. And if anybody here has gotten Lucky Tackle box before, you'll know that they do a good job wrapping it with this quality paper on the inside. I just happened to take it out in advance just so I could get it out of the way. One less thing to deal with. And then you get your, once again, your basics that come with every box. This is your card that tells you how much everything is and what you're getting in the box. You also get your Fish Hound magazine, which also has tons of helpful hints, tips. It's also got a lunar calendar in there. If you're into that, help you kind of judge which days you can go out. Which for me, the days that I go out, I focus on are any day that I can. As long as I'm not working, let's try to get out on the water. Also get a nice little sticker with it, just like you did with the other one. Lucky Tackle Box has changed theirs up quite often as well. This one's more of an American flag. Actually, shout out to the guys there. I kind of prefer out of all the ones you guys have had. I like that one the best so far. Keep them coming. Another thing you do get though with them is the golden ticket from Lucky Tackle Box. They do log on, subscribe to their Facebook, and subscribe to their YouTube pages. They do a monthly live event, and this right here, if your winning number is called, boom, you get free prizes. You get anything from extra tackle to free XL boxes, which are some of their premium packages with that. So definitely worth checking out, stopping into. And let's go through the box here. Now this right here is something that I've generally always gotten with a Lucky Tackle box, be it their summer bass ones or their ice fishing ones. I've only gotten 2 ice fishing ones. I can't really remember if I did last month or not, but you usually get a great set of quality mustad hooks. And I know this is something that as fishermen it's easy to skimp out on, to forget to replace, but believe me, this is such a quality investment. I can't get over it. It's something that's so easily overlooked, and I'm glad they've sent them. Even if you don't use these all for ice fishing, go ahead and replace some of your treble hooks on your lures for the summertime. These are so much stickier, so much sharper. You will hook into more fish. I guarantee you will lose less fish just by switching over your standard issued treble hooks. These right here from Mustad, they're a size 12 10-piece treble hook set, which retail for $1.99. Next up, from a company called Euro Tackle, is their 2-inch Prism stick. This retails for $3.49, and it has a really great blue prism fading into a green. Got the eye, looks like a little tiny minnow there. Should be eye-catching with a nice hook down at the bottom. So tip that with some meat, or maybe even cross over and put some of the Mackie plastics on there, or some kind of artificial bait. But usually I just tip it with a wax worm or a red spike, and just give it a jig up and down. Boom, fish on. Next up, another product from Euro Tackle is their Tungsten Ice Jig. This is the Tungsten X Drop Ice Jig that retails for $2.29, and once again it is tungsten, so it will drop down through the water column quicker. Anything tungsten will get down there faster than lead. They're usually a little bit more expensive, but in my opinion, well worth it. This pattern right here, like I said before with the mystery tackle box, this size right here is what we generally use, or I generally use 90% of the time with our bluegill fishing around here, just because that nice small hook slides right into their mouths very easily, tipped with a little bit of meat like a spike or a waxworm. And actually that kind of pattern, I have a similar jig that I use 90% of the time when I'm using these teardrop jigs. It's that reddish belly that fades into a greenish black top with a couple of nice eyeballs on it. So really interested in using that one, having it as a backup to my other. We also have from Stillhouse Tackle, this is a 2-set of 1/32 ounce hair jigs. Now these retail for $3.25, and once again we've already talked about the marabou and the feather, how they just kind of pulse underwater even if you're dead sticking. So these are a little bit smaller than the ones that came in Mystery Tackle box, and for my style of fishing, unfortunately, the smaller ones are going to work better. I don't get a lot of the larger bluegills that come around and sucking up those other ones, but these should fit right in that wheelhouse and be perfect to use. Next up is the glowing Moon Jig. Now this at first look looks like a standard Moon Jig, but if you look really closely down here in the bottom, it has anise bombs, catch more fish, which this tells me, and also by looking at the script card that they have in here, this is a special segmented body with strong anise scent. So this is the first time I've ever come across, and I'm pretty new to ice fishing, but first time I've come across a hard bait that is actually scented. So I'm really interested in getting this one out on the water and giving it a try. And last but not least, from another popular company from Sitka, this is the Sitka Yukon spoon, and this one retails for $7.49. I could tell just by holding it in my hand it's got some decent weight to it. It's going to drop down the water column, but I can also tip this one with 2 or 3. I've had good success with treble hooks around this size. Tip it with 2 or 3 little wax worms, or actually maybe 1 or 2 wax worms and maybe 2 spikes at the most, and it'll just call them in. I know you can't really see it, but on the bottom there it has a nice white kind of belly, and the face side of it has a nice realistic 3D eyeball along with a holographic silver shiner minnow with almost like a wounded spot on it. So that should definitely call in some critters from some distance there. And just by doing a quick once over with the Lucky Tackle box, looks like you received six different items or jigs or lures for a grand total of $25.50. So, you know, if you're going strictly on value, it looks like the Lucky Tackle box is going to give you about $1 more worth of value than the mystery tackle box. But you know, it just all depends on what kind of fishing you do.